Hello. Welcome to TrueGritEnglish. I am very happy to spend this time with you today. Thank you for joining me. Every day, we share new ideas to help you grow. We talk about life, success, and how to be happy. If you like these topics, please subscribe to our channel. It is a small action, but it helps our community grow. We upload new videos every day. I hope you find something here that makes your life a little better. Today, we are talking about a very important idea. It is a simple idea, but it can change your whole life. The idea is this: if everything is important, then nothing is important. Does that sound strange to you? Let me explain. We live in a world that is very fast. Everyone tells us to do more. They tell us to be faster. They tell us to be better. We feel like we must be good at our jobs. We must be great parents. We must have many friends. We must go to the gym. We must learn new skills. We must watch the news. We must check our phones. The list never ends. But here's the problem. Our time is like a small bag of seeds. If you have 100 seeds, you can plant them in many ways. You can plant all of them in one small area. If you do that, the plants will grow tall and strong. Or you can try to plant one seed in every part of a giant field. If you spread them out too far, you cannot water them all. You cannot take care of them all. Most of the seeds will die, or they will grow into very small, weak plants. Take a deep breath. Think about your own life for a moment. Does it feel like you are trying to plant seeds in a giant field? Do you feel like you are running all day, but you are not getting anywhere? This is what happens when we think everything is important. We give a little bit of energy to everything, but we do not give enough energy to anything. Think about your phone or your computer. Imagine you have a battery. This battery is your energy for the day. Now, imagine you turn on 50 different apps at the same time. You are listening to music. You are watching a video. You are playing a game. You are downloading a file. What happens to the battery? It dies very quickly. And while the battery is dying, the apps do not work well. The music stops. The video is slow. The game crashes. Nothing is working the way it should. Our lives are exactly like that battery. We have a limited amount of energy. We have a limited amount of time. If we try to power 50 things at once, we feel empty. We feel tired. We feel stressed. This is the trap of being busy. Many people think that being busy is the same as being successful. They think that if they have a long to-do list, they are doing well. But being busy and being productive are not the same thing. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever finished a long day of work and felt exhausted? You worked for 8 hours or 10 hours. But when you look back, you feel like you did nothing important. You answered some emails. You talked on the phone. You went to a meeting. But the big dream you have, the project that really matters, you did not touch it. This happens because we let the small things steal our time. We think the emails are important. We think the small talk is important. We think every notification on our phone is important. When we say yes to everything, we are accidentally saying no to the things that matter most. If you say yes to a meeting you do not need, you are saying no to an hour of rest. If you say yes to watching a TV show you do not even like, you are saying no to reading a book that could change your mind. Let's pause here for a moment. Just listen to the silence. Think about your day yesterday. What were the 3 most important things you did? Not the things that were loud, not the things that were fast, but the things that truly mattered. Can you name them? If it is hard to name them, do not worry. You are not alone. Most people struggle with this. We get lost in the noise of the world. We often think that 100% of our efforts lead to 100% of our results. We think that if we work 10 hours, every hour is equal. But that is a lie. This is a very common myth. We think we should give our best to everything. We think we should be 100% perfect at the office. We should be 100% perfect at home. We should have a 100% perfect body. But that is impossible. It is a mathematical mistake. If you give 10% of your energy to 10 different things, you are only 10% good at those things. You are not great at anything. You are just average at many things. And being average at many things is very tiring. It does not bring joy. It brings a feeling of being stuck. It is like running on a treadmill. You are moving your legs very fast. You are sweating. You are breathing hard. But when you get off, you are in the same place where you started. Does this sound like your life right now? Do you feel like you are moving fast but staying in the same place? It is okay to admit it. Recognizing the problem is the first step to fixing it. The truth is, we do not need more time. We have 24 hours every day. Every successful person has the same 24 hours. Every happy person has the same 24 hours. The difference is not how much time they have. The difference is what they choose to ignore. Choosing what to ignore is a special kind of wisdom. It is a brave choice. It is hard because we are afraid. We are afraid that if we don't do everything, we will fail. We are afraid that people will be angry with us. We are afraid we will miss an opportunity. But the biggest failure is spending your whole life doing things that do not matter. The biggest failure is being so busy that you forget how to live. In the next part of our journey today, we will talk about a secret. It is a rule that nature follows. It is a rule that successful businesses follow. It is the rule of the 20%. This rule will show you how to find the things that truly matter. It will help you see which seeds to water and which parts of the field to leave alone. But for now, I want you to sit with this idea. Everything cannot be important. If you try to make everything a priority, nothing is a priority. Imagine a map where every single road is highlighted in bright red. Would that map be useful? No. You would not know where to go. A map is only useful because it shows you the one right path and ignores the rest. Your life needs to be like a good map. It needs to show a clear path. It needs to have some empty space. You need space to breathe. You need space to think. You do not need a life that is full. You need a life that is meaningful. Think about the battery again. If you only turn on one app, the most important one, what happens? The app works perfectly. The screen is bright. The battery lasts a long time. This is the power of concentration. This is the power of picking one thing. I want you to stay with me. We are just beginning this talk. We are going to learn how to move away from the trap of busy. We are going to learn how to find peace in a world that never stops talking. You have the power to choose. You have the power to say, this matters, but that does not. Let's move forward together. Let's look at how we can find that magic 20%. Let's find out how we can start doing less, so we can finally achieve more. It sounds like a dream, but it is very real. It is the wisdom of choice. Let's explore that together in the next section. Now, let us talk about a secret rule. This rule is very famous, but many people do not use it. It is called the 80-20 rule. Sometimes, people call it the Pareto principle. This sounds like a difficult name, but the idea is very simple. A long time ago, a man in Italy was looking at his garden. He was looking at his pea plants. He noticed something strange. He saw that 20% of the pea plants produced 80% of the peas. Most of the peas came from just a few very healthy plants. The other plants were okay, but they did not produce much. Then, he looked at other things. He looked at the land in his country. He found that 20% of the people owned 80% of the land. He began to see this pattern everywhere. This pattern is a law of nature. It says that most of our results come from only a small part of our work. In your life, 80% of your happiness comes from 20% of your activities. 80% of your success at work comes from 20% of your tasks. This is a very powerful idea. It means that most of what we do every day does not really matter. Most of our actions do not change our lives. Only a few things, the vital few, make a big difference. Let's look at some examples from your daily life. Think about the clothes in your closet. You probably have many shirts, many pants, and many pairs of shoes. But think honestly, which clothes do you actually wear? You probably wear the same few outfits over and over again. You have your favorite jeans. You have the shirt that makes you feel confident. You have the shoes that are the most comfortable. You use 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. The other 80% of your clothes just sit there. They take up space. They make it harder to find what you actually want to wear. Think about your friends. You might have hundreds of friends on social media. You might know many people at your office or in your neighborhood, but when you have a big problem, who do you call? When you have a beautiful secret to share, who do you talk to? Usually, it is a very small group, maybe 2 or 3 people. These people are your 20%. They provide almost all of the love and support in your life. I will be quiet for a moment. I want you to think about this. Think about your closet. Think about your friends. Can you see the 20%? This rule is everywhere. Look at your phone. You have many apps, but you probably spend most of your time on only 3 or 4 of them. Look at your kitchen. You have many tools, but you use the same knife and the same pan almost every day. If this rule is true, why do we struggle so much? If only 20% of our work matters, why do we feel so busy? The answer is simple. We are afraid to let go of the other 80%. We think that more is always better. We are afraid that if we stop doing the unimportant things, something bad will happen. We think, maybe I will need this shirt one day. We think, maybe I should answer this person's email, even if they are not important to my life. We think, I must go to this party, or people will think I am rude. We spend 80% of our energy on things that give us almost no result. We are watering the plants that do not grow peas. This is a waste of your life. It is like having a garden full of weeds. If you want the beautiful flowers to grow, you must pull out the weeds. Imagine a rose bush. A gardener wants to grow the biggest, most beautiful roses. To do this, the gardener does something that looks mean. He takes a pair of scissors and he cuts off some of the branches. He cuts off the small roses that are not growing well. He cuts off the extra leaves. Why does he do this? He does it because he wants all the energy of the plant to go into the best flowers. If the plant tries to grow 100 roses, all of them will be small and weak. But if the plant only grows 5 roses, those roses will be huge and magnificent. Your life is exactly like that rose bush. You have a limited amount of energy. If you try to do everything, you will be like a weak rose bush. You will have many small, unimportant results. But if you have the courage to cut away the things that do not matter, you can be magnificent. This is the wisdom of choice. It is the ability to look at your life and say, these are my 20%. These are the things that make me happy. These are the things that help me reach my goals. I will give them all my energy. And then, you must be bold enough to ignore the rest. The rest are the trivial many. Trivial means something that is not important. It is just noise. Most of our emails are noise. Most of our meetings are noise. Most of the things we worry about are noise. Think about your goals for this year. Maybe you want to learn English better. Maybe you want to get a promotion at work. Maybe you want to be a better parent. Whatever your goal is, there are only a few actions that will get you there. If you want to learn English, what is the 20%? Is it buying 20 different books? No. Is it watching 5 hours of movies you don't understand? No. The 20% might be speaking for 15 minutes every day. Or it might be learning 10 common words and using them in a sentence. That small action gives the biggest result. But we get distracted. We spend hours looking for the perfect book or the perfect app. We spend 80% of our time on the search and 20% on the actual learning. We should do the opposite. Ask yourself, if I could only do 2 things today to reach my goal, what would they be? Those 2 things are your 20%. Everything else is a distraction. It is a shift in your mind. You must move from a more is better mindset to a less but better mindset. This is not easy. It feels wrong at first. We are trained to be busy. We are taught that hard work means working long hours. But true hard work is the work of choosing. It is much harder to choose one thing than it is to do 10 things. Doing 10 things is easy because you don't have to think. You just follow your schedule. But choosing one thing requires focus. It requires you to say no to the world. It requires you to be honest with yourself. In the next part, we will talk about how to say no. This is often the hardest part of the 80-20 rule. We will talk about the fear of missing out and how to overcome it. We will learn how to find the courage to be bold. But for now, remember the pea plants. Remember the roses. Nature does not try to do everything. Nature focuses on what works. You should do the same. If everything is important, nothing is important. Find your 20% and let the rest go. Let's think about how we can start saying no to the things that steal our time. That is where we will go next. So, we know the rule. We understand that only a few things truly change our lives. But if it is so simple, why don't we do it? Why do we keep our schedules so full? The answer is a single, difficult word. That word is no. Saying no is one of the hardest things a human being can do. We are social animals. We want to belong. We want people to be happy with us. From the time we are children, we are taught that being helpful is a virtue. We are told to say yes to our teachers, our parents, and our friends. So, when we grow up, we become yes people. We say yes to every meeting. We say yes to every request for help. We say yes to every party invitation. We do this because we want to be nice. We do not want to hurt anyone's feelings. But here is the hard truth. If you say yes to everyone else, you are saying no to yourself. Think about your energy like a cup of water. Every time you say yes to a small, unimportant task, you pour a little bit of water out. You give a little to an unnecessary email. You give a little to a boring conversation. You give a little to a task that is not your job. Soon, the cup is empty. When you finally sit down to work on your big dream, there is no water left. You are dry. You are tired. You have nothing left for the 20% that matters. This is why we must learn the courage to say no. It is not about being mean. It is about being honest. It is about protecting your life and your time. Your time is the most valuable thing you own. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. Every minute you spend on the 80% of things that don't matter is a minute you can never get back. I want you to stop and think for a moment. Listen to the quiet around you. Think about your life right now. Is there something you are saying yes to only because you feel guilty? Is there a project or a person that drains your energy but gives nothing back? Maybe it is a hobby you no longer enjoy. Maybe it is a group of people who make you feel tired. Imagine what would happen if you said no. Just imagine it. Feel the space that would open up in your life. Feel the quiet. It feels a little scary, doesn't it? But it also feels like freedom. That space is where your 20% can grow. Many people struggle with what we call FOMO. That stands for the fear of missing out. We feel it when we see our friends on social media doing something fun. We feel it when we hear about a new trend or a new skill we think we should learn. We think, I must stay updated. I must know everything. I must be everywhere. But look at the word. Fear. Do you want fear to run your life? Fear is a bad manager. Fear makes you run in circles. It makes you try to do everything at once. When you choose your 20%, you are replacing fear with purpose. Purpose is much stronger than fear. Purpose says, I might miss that party, but I am building a future I love. I might miss that news story, but I am finding peace today. I might miss that small opportunity, but I am focusing on a great one. Boldness is not about being loud. It is about being clear. Successful and happy people are very good at saying no. They do not say no because they are lazy. They say no because they are focused. They know that to do one thing perfectly, they must ignore 1,000 other things. They have the courage to be misunderstood. If you say no to a meeting, some people might think you are not a team player. If you say no to a party, some people might think you are boring. You must be okay with that. You must value your own goals more than the opinions of people who are just keeping you busy. Confidence doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things. When you finish a day and you have done one important thing well, you feel strong. You feel like you are in control of your life. But when you finish a day where you did 50 small things poorly, you feel weak. You feel like the world is pushing you around. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who is pulled in every direction? Or do you want to be the person who chooses their own path? Redefining the word no is a superpower. Think of it this way. Every time you say no to something that is not important, you are actually saying a very big yes to something that is. When you say no to an extra hour of television, you are saying yes to your health. When you say no to a toxic friend, you are saying yes to your mental peace. When you say no to a boring task at work, you are saying yes to a project that shows your true talent. The word no is not a wall. It is a gate. It keeps the noise out so you can focus on the music. Ask yourself this question. What are you holding on to that you no longer need? We all have things in our lives that are like old luggage. We carry them because we have always carried them. But they are heavy, and they are empty. They are the 80% that gives nothing back. It takes boldness to put that luggage down and walk away. It takes courage to say, this is no longer important to me. But once you do, you will feel so much lighter. You will be able to run toward the things you love. We are moving from a life of quantity to a life of quality. We are choosing to be great at a few things instead of being average at everything. It takes time to learn this. You will feel guilty at first. That is normal. We have been trained to say yes for a long time. But every time you say no to something trivial, you get stronger. You are telling yourself that your goals are important. You are telling the world that your time is precious. You are taking back the power over your own life. Now that we understand why we must have the courage to say no, we need to know how to pick. We need to know what to say yes to. How do we actually find that 20%? How do we look at our messy, busy lives and see the path clearly? In the next part, I am going to show you exactly how to do that. We will look at a practical, step-by-step plan. We will learn how to make a list that will change the way you see your day. We will find the path through the forest. Stay with me as we learn how to find your 20%. This is where the real change begins. How do we find our 20%? We know the rule. We have the courage to say no. But now we need a plan. We need a clear way to see our life and make better choices. Let us look at a practical, step-by-step guide to finding what truly matters. We will do this together. The first step is what I call the audit. To audit something means to look at it very closely. Imagine your day is a map. If you want to go to a new city, you first need to know where you are standing on the map. You cannot plan a journey if you are lost. So, I want you to look at your daily schedule. Think about yesterday. Think about the day before. If you have a pen and paper, you can write this down. List every single thing you did from the moment you woke up until you went to bed. Be very honest with yourself. This is not for anyone else to see. Did you spend 30 minutes looking at your phone while you were still in bed? Write it down. Did you spend an hour answering emails that were not urgent? Write it down. Did you spend 2 hours watching videos you do not even remember now? Write it down. Did you spend time worrying about a problem you cannot fix? List that too. Now look at your list. Simple language helps us see the truth. Look at your day like a map with many roads. Some roads lead to your goals. Other roads just go in circles. Most people are surprised when they do this. They see that their day is full of small holes. Think of a water bucket. One small hole in a bucket is not a big problem. But 50 small holes will empty the bucket very fast. Your time is the water. The small, unimportant tasks are the holes. If you do not fix the holes, you will always feel empty. This leads us to the second step. I call this the result test. This is where we look for the 20%. Look at your list of tasks and ask yourself 2 questions. First, does this task help my future? Second, does this task make me feel truly happy and peaceful? We must be very careful here. Sometimes we do things because we think we must, but they do not help us. For example, checking your social media notifications. It feels important in the moment. Your phone makes a sound, and you feel you must look. But does it help your future? Does it bring you deep peace? Usually, the answer is no. It is just noise. But look for the other things. Maybe you spent 20 minutes reading a book to your child. Maybe you spent 30 minutes learning new words in English. Maybe you spent an hour working on a project that makes you feel proud. These are the vital few. These are the things that give you 80% of your joy and success. These are the diamonds in the sand. Let us take a reflective pause now. I will be silent for 30 seconds. I want you to think about 1 year from today. Imagine you have reached your biggest goal. You feel strong. You feel successful. Now, look back at your list from yesterday. Which one task helped you reach that future? Just pick one. I hope you found your diamond. Now we move to the third step. Most people like to make a to-do list. They think that adding more things to their day is the way to be better. But wise people do something different. They make a stop-doing list. Think about a great chef. A great chef does not put every single ingredient in his kitchen into one soup. He does not add salt, sugar, pepper, milk, and vinegar all at once. If he did, the soup would be terrible. No one would want to eat it. Instead, a great chef is an expert at choosing. He picks only 3 or 4 of the best ingredients. He stops using the spices that do not match the flavor. He focuses on the quality of just a few things. Your life is like that soup. If you try to put everything in it, you will lose the flavor. What ingredients can you stop using today? Look at your list of 80%. These are the things that do not help your future and do not bring you joy. Maybe it is complaining. Maybe it is saying yes to meetings that have no purpose. Maybe it is trying to make everyone like you. Put these things on your stop doing list. When you stop doing these things, you create space. And space is a gift. When you have space, you can finally use the power of concentration. This is the 4th step. There are 2 ways to work. There is shallow work and there is deep work. Shallow work is easy. It is like swimming on the surface of the water. You move your arms, you see the sun, but you are not seeing anything new. You are just staying afloat. Deep work is like diving to the bottom of the ocean. This is where the beautiful fish and the hidden treasures are. To dive deep, you cannot be distracted. You cannot look at your phone every 5 minutes. You cannot stop to talk about the weather. You must pick one thing and give it all your heart. When you focus on one thing for a long time, something magic happens. We call this flow. Your brain begins to work faster. You forget about time. You feel deeply connected to what you are doing. This is how masterpieces are made. This is how the best books are written. This is how the most successful businesses are built. When you give 100% of your focus to the 20% of your tasks, you become powerful. You are no longer just a busy person. You are a creator. You are not just planting seeds everywhere. You are watering the most important tree in the forest. Finding your 20% is a habit. It is not something you do only once. You must do it every day. Every morning, ask yourself, what are my diamonds today? Every evening, ask yourself, did I spend too much time on the sand? Slowly, you will see a change. You will stop rushing through your life. You will start living with a clear plan. You will see that you do not need more hours in the day. You just need to choose the right path. In the final part of our talk, we will look at what happens when you live this way. We will talk about the peace and the high quality of a focused life. We will see how slowing down actually helps you move toward your dreams faster than ever before. Let us see the beautiful result of your choices. We have traveled a long way together today. We started by looking at the trap of being busy. We saw how the world tries to steal our time with 1,000 small things. We learned about the 80-20 rule and the wisdom of the garden. We talked about the courage it takes to say no. And we looked at how to find your own diamonds in the sand. Now, we come to the most beautiful part of our journey. We are going to look at what your life can become when you live this way. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, your eyes open, and you do not feel that heavy weight in your chest. You do not feel like you are already behind. You do not feel the need to rush to your phone or your computer. Instead, you feel a deep sense of peace. You look at your day, and it is not a messy pile of tasks. It is a clear path. You know exactly what the 2 or 3 most important things are. You have chosen them with care. You have already said no to the rest. How does that feel? It feels like freedom. It feels like you are finally the master of your own life. When you focus on the 20% that matters, the quality of your life changes. It is like moving from a noisy city into a quiet forest. In the city, there is too much to see and too much to hear. You cannot focus on anything. But in the forest, you can hear the birds. You can see the detail on a single leaf. You can feel the wind. This is what a focused life is like. You stop doing many things poorly, and you start doing a few things beautifully. Think about the work you do. Think about the people you love. When you are not rushing, you can give them your full attention. When you talk to your friend, you are really there. You are not thinking about your emails. You are not checking the time. You are giving them 100% of your heart. That is a gift. That is how deep connections are built. That is how a life of quality is made. Let's take a moment for a very important pause. I want you to sit comfortably. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out slowly through your mouth. Can you feel that? That is the feeling of being present. You are not in the past, worrying about what you did not finish. You are not in the future, worrying about what you must do tomorrow. You are right here, right now. This is where your life happens. When we are too busy, we miss our own lives. We are so focused on getting to the end of the day that we forget to live the day. There is a strange secret in life. It is a paradox. A paradox is something that seems like it cannot be true, but it is. The secret is this: you must slow down to go fast. Think about a professional driver. When a driver is going very fast around a corner, he must be very calm. If he panics and tries to do too many things, he will crash. He must move his hands slowly and smoothly. By being calm and focused, he can go faster than anyone else. Your life is the same. If you try to run everywhere, you will make many mistakes. You will get tired and you will have to stop. But if you move with focus, you will reach your goals much sooner. You will have more energy. You will have a clear mind. You will see opportunities that other people miss because they are too busy looking at their phones. I want to give you a message of encouragement. You might feel that it is too late to change. You might think that your life is already too messy, but that is not true. Every morning is a new chance to choose. You do not have to change everything today. You do not have to throw away all your old habits in 1 hour. Start with one small choice. Look at your day tomorrow. Find one thing that is not important and say no to it. Just one. Use that extra time to do something that matters. Maybe it is 5 minutes of meditation. Maybe it is writing a letter to someone you love. Maybe it is just sitting quietly with a cup of tea. When you make that one choice, you are telling the universe that you are ready for a better life. You are taking back your power. This is the path of true grit. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest. It is about having the wisdom to choose and the strength to stay focused. It is about knowing that you are enough. You do not need to do everything to be a good person. You do not need to be busy to be valuable. Your value comes from who you are, not from how many things you finish today. I hope this message stays with you. I hope it helps you find a little more peace in your busy world. Remember, your time is a treasure. Do not spend it on things that do not bring you joy or help you grow. Be brave. Be focused. Be the gardener of your own life. Thank you for spending this time with me. It has been a pleasure to share these thoughts with you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you have not already, please subscribe to TrueGritEnglish. We are a community of people who want to grow every day. We talk about deep ideas using simple words, so we can all learn together. I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Take one more deep breath. Feel the strength inside you. You have the power to choose. You have the power to live a life of quality. Go out into the world today with a calm heart and a clear mind. Focus on the few things that matter. Boldly throw out the rest. You will be amazed at how much more you can achieve when you stop trying to do it all. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with your progress. You are doing a great job. This is the end of our talk for today, but it is the beginning of your new, focused life. Do less, get more.